Good day and welcome to this SZV Insured webinar, especially for employees that are coming over to SZV as their new health insurance. My name is Parveen Boertje and I'm the Chief Transition Officer of SZV, and I'm here today with my colleagues Christine Holliday and Orianda Royer. We are very pleased to inform you about the SZV insurance, and we hope that this webinar will give you answers with regards to the application procedure and how to access your insurance benefits. So in this webinar, we are going to cover the background of the new law change. We are going to cover some obligations that are pertaining to your employer, how to complete your personal registration at SZV, some rights and obligations of Insured, and of course, very important, how to access your ZV insurance benefits. If you have any questions after this webinar, please feel free to contact us via info@szv.sx and we will be ready to answer all your questions. So let's get started. As per August 1st, 2022, a new wage limit is in effect for the sickness insurance law. Some things will not change. For example, for those of you as employees and dependents that are currently insured for ZV, nothing will change. No changes in the obligations for the employers. Make sure that all the employees are registered at SZV. The premium percentage of the contribution for ZV and OV is unchanged, and the solidarity principle on which the ZV-OV legislation is based on is also unchanged. So let's take a closer look at what will change with this new legislation. More persons will get access to the sickness insurance benefits, and we are specifically talking about employees earning no more than 120,000 guilders per year. The increase of the maximum amount of premium paid for accident insurance by the employer will also change. This is not one of the concerns for the employees, but for employers, this is very important to know. As a result, the healthcare funds of Sint Maarten will become more sustainable to finance care now and in the future. Here's a recap of all the important figures that are applicable to this increase of the wage limit. More persons will get access to the sickness insurance. So all employees who are earning no more than 120,000 guilders per year will fall under this ZV legislation. This is also for the accident insurance, of course. A maximum ZV and OV premium income is set at 120,000 guilders as well per year. This is important for your employer to know when they do the calculations of the premiums. And furthermore, the maximum payout for loss of wages, SZV pays loss of wages to the employer, is also set at 120,000 guilders per year. In the next slides, my colleague Christine will give some detailed information on what employers and employees must do in order to become eligible for the ZV insurance. Christine, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Parveen. As my colleague Parveen mentioned, as of August 1st, 2022, the increase of the wage limit will go into effect. And your registry at SZV starts with your employer. Last week, Friday, we held a webinar with the employers where we also informed them of their actions that they need to take, which is the first step is your registry. So they was instructed to review and confirm the employees' registry in their employer's portal. They was also advised to inform you, the employees, of the upcoming changes and the required actions that you will have to take. One of the changes is the premium percentage that you will have to pay as an employee, so this will affect you in your salary administration. You as an employee will also have to complete your registry at SZV. You will also have to report sick leave via our online process, and you may experience some changes in your private insurance policy. Your employer was also informed that they will need to take the yellow card numbers so that you as an employee will be able to complete your process for the sick leave reporting. SZV is also embarking that we contact the employers that has employees that are affected for 6 or more. So SZV will be contacting your company and providing them with the credentials that you as an employee will need to update your registry at SZV. With this option, you as an employee do not have to independently contact SZV if you are one of those employees within that company. For an employee that are registered under employer that only have 1 to 5 employees, you will have to individually contact SZV. An SZV representative will contact your employer to make the necessary arrangement to visit the workplace. Why now? Again, we will repeat that as of August 1st, 2022, the law will go into effect. This has been published in the Afcon the King's Blad. Employees' access to SZV insurance is dependent on the employer's registry being accurate and complete and in a timely manner. Your employer was also informed to be proactive to make sure that you as an employee experience a hassle-free switch to SZV. Now, as we mentioned just now, those are the obligations and actions that an employer has to take, but you as an employee also have some actions that you need to take. As mentioned, if you are one of the employees within a company that has less than 6 employees that is affected by the change, you can contact SZV via our website. You will click Apply, Renew, Insured, and SZV will reach out to you to complete that process. You will also request a MySZV account via our website with the credentials that SZV will provide to you. Once you have access to your MySZV account, you will complete the online registration form within your portal. For these steps, there are some documents that will be required, and these documents are: you need to be in possession of a valid St. Martin ID or a valid passport. You may also need a detailed registration form, which can be no older than 3 years from the date that you are submitting your registry. And this is only necessary if you want to add a spouse and or a child to your registry. For the employees, you will also need to provide us with a valid resident permit if this is applicable to you. You will also need to submit your family doctor, and this is a very important step for you as an employee because this also makes sure that you have complete access to the healthcare services that is provided under the sickness insurance. To experience a smooth transition and continued access to healthcare services, there are some steps that you have to take that is very important that you do so now and not only wait until August 1st reach. You can from now get to know SZV. In the previous slides and the slides coming up, you will also see where you can contact SZV to get to know us better by our website or directly contacting one of our customer care representatives. Again, we would like to inform you that you have to have the necessary documents ready when you are completing your registry. You as an employee can add a spouse and/or your children to your registry. You will also learn more about your insurance benefits and how you can access this. And last but not least, you will be able to update your personal information within our administration. So we mentioned some steps that needs to be taken. However, within SZV, there's also some processing time for these steps to be completed. So for step 1, this takes 2 working days maximum. Step 2 and 3 takes a maximum also of 3 working days. In your My SZV account, you as an employee will be able to monitor your medical insurance status. So you'll be able to see if your status is valid or not valid. Your medical insurance status at SZV will go into effect in accordance with the legislative changes. You may ask if you have to complete your registration. No. Completing your registration in advance means that you are one step closer to safeguarding access to medical insurance for uninterrupted medical care or emergency care. To learn more from SZV, you can contact us by our website, social media pages, or email us at info@szv.sx. Our telephone lines are open from Monday to Friday from 7:30 to 2 p.m. As an employee, you also have some rights and obligations when it comes to the sickness insurance. One of your obligations are that you have to pay a contribution to the funds, and this amount totals 4.2% of your daily gross wages. Your employer also have an obligation whereby they have to pay 8.3% of your daily gross wages. Your employer deducts this from your salary, and they are responsible to make sure that the monthly premiums are paid to SZV, which is a total of 12.5%. As mentioned in the previous slides, you can register your family members, but these family members can also be added to your insurance. So as a ZV insured person, you may add the following family members to your ZV insurance: your legal registered spouse, up to and including the age of 61, your children, up to including the age of 24. Below, you will see the different descriptions of children as is defined in the ZV legislation. Children up to the age of 18 to 24 who are considered adults by law can still be added to your insurance when they are attending school full-time. So you will need to provide SZV with a school declaration stating such. However, the following family members cannot qualify to be registered under your insurance: your cohabiting partner, your spouse, or your children that is non-resident family members, children not attending school older than 17 years of age, children attending school older than 25 years of age, an unemployed spouse older than 61 years of age, employed family members who are entitled to sickness insurance as an employee. Family members who are insured somewhere else, for example, government or privately insured. Uninsured family members who has a higher income, so they are considered the breadwinner. You also need to inform SZV of some life events that may be taking place in your personal life. In some cases, there are changes in your personal situation, which SZV refers to as life events, that determines your right to SZV medical insurance. You must always inform SZV of relevant changes to your personal situation. Your My SZV client portal is a great tool for you to view these registered changes in your insurance status and personal situation. What are the changes that you should inform SZV about? You should inform SZV if you have a new job, if you are no longer working, if you are married or recently divorced, if you had reached the pensionable age, or if there is a change in your residency status. For more information pertaining to the rights and obligations, I would now like to turn you over to my colleague, Mrs. Oriana.
Thank you, Christine. So some of the rights and obligations include applying for your MySZV account. In order to apply for your account, you go to SZV's website, szv.sx, request your MySZV account, and there you will have access to your status, where you can see the validity of your status. Once you have that access, you can access the service 24/7. There you can check your medical insurance status, like I mentioned, your personal information, and basically have access to the online services. Medical services that are covered. You will not be required to do a prepayment or a co-payment to access the following medical services: visits to your family doctor, treatment by medical specialists, treatment by allied health professionals such as the physical therapist, speech therapist, dietitian, etc., admission and nursing care in the hospital on the Dutch side of St. Martin, prenatal care and delivery care, district nursing, emergency room care, and prescribed medications. What is not covered are preventive medication, over-the-counter medicines, certain artificial devices and homeopathic remedies, certain prostheses, cosmetic or elective surgeries, cosmetic dental treatments, travel medical insurance. For more information on your health insurance package, you can visit szv.sx, where you can see a detailed list of what you are covered for and not covered for. Two times in the year, you have the opportunity to choose a different family doctor if you have that wish. You can do so via the MySZV portal in the months of March and September. During these months, you can change your family doctor. You and your dependents can change your family doctor. Sick leave benefits. My colleague mentioned before, in order to access the sick leave benefit, you must register your sick leave on the 3rd day of sickness. On the 1st and 2nd day of sickness, you're required to inform your employer about your illness. And only if you're still sick on the 3rd day do you go to SZV's website, where you can register for your sick leave using the yellow card number that would be provided to your employer. So the employers can request these yellow card numbers, and when you're reporting your sick leave on the 3rd day of illness, you go to SZV's website using this yellow card number. For the expectant insured, for the insured person that is expecting a baby, You and your spouse may qualify for full coverage of your medical bills for the baby's delivery. In order to do so, you must apply for the baby guarantee letter to access this service. You request the guarantee letter in the 7th month of your pregnancy. This must not be done before, but you can request the baby guarantee letter at SZV from the 7th month of your pregnancy. The maternity leave for the expectant mother is also a maximum of 12 weeks, and this must also be requested via SZV. The request can be made via szv.sx. Newborn registration, you're required as the insured to make sure that the newborn baby is registered as your dependent within 10 days of the baby's birth. More information can be found on szv.sx pertaining to the expectant mother. Medical referrals. So there are 2 types of medical referral when it comes to SZV. It's the referrals that are needed for you to see a specialist on the Dutch side of the island, or for you to be referred abroad to go to an institute within SZV's network. The medical referral that is needed would come from your family doctor, and insured patients that would require specialized care must request these referrals via their healthcare professionals, their healthcare providers. A referral is always necessary to see a specialist next to your family doctor, but this must be requested via the doctor. Medical referrals abroad. If someone cannot be treated on the island for a specific illness, on the island being the Dutch side of St. Martin, then this person will be referred to a medical institute abroad that is within SZV's network. This is subject to prior approval by SZV's medical advisors. Medical expenses reimbursement. You may be entitled to receive medical reimbursement for costs incurred for medical aid, medical visits, etc. Certain conditions apply, and you can find more information about this on our website. You can claim costs, basically, if you've had to spend money on any medical service. There's a number of documents that are required when applying for this reimbursement, including the original receipts, as well as a referral. Now I'll pass the word back to my colleague, Parveen.
Thank you so much, Orianda, for your explanation about the rights and obligations of employees and also how to access their services. Before I am handling some of the most frequently asked questions, I would like to make one correction with regards to the detailed registration form. The slides showed it correctly. A detailed registration form cannot be older than 3 months. So once again, if you have to submit your detailed registration form, it cannot be older than 3 months. So let's take a look at some of the frequently asked questions. And throughout the weeks, in the weeks prior to the legislation coming into effect, we have received many questions from employers, from employees, and we have compiled them in these slides, which I really want to share with you, because perhaps one of your questions is also answered here. So the first question is, when does the law go into effect? And is there a transition period? The answer is that the legislation will go into effect on August 1st, 2022. There is no transition period. Another hot topic, that's why the question is in red, when should my private insurance policy be cancelled? Once the law goes into effect on August 1st, you may consider cancelling your private insurance. The reason why we state that you may consider cancelling your private insurance is that this is, of course, the prerogative of you as an individual. If you wish to keep your private insurance on, that is a decision that only you can make. However, I must reiterate here that the ZV insurance is mandatory for any employee that falls within the requirements of the legislation. So it is no matter of choosing. What happens if an employee does not update their registration, as explained by my colleagues? The employee will remain registered with a valid insurance status, but you will not have access to medical care services because we are missing important information from you. So please make sure that your medical insurance status is valid and that your registration is fully updated. Another hot topic, persons with confirmed treatment plans via their private insurance status. Will SZV honor these commitments? This will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis. Some of the consideration includes if the medical provider is in our contracted network, contracted care network, and in what stage of a treatment a person currently is. If you are currently receiving medical treatment abroad, please indicate that, and you can do so with your application at SZV or send us an email at szv.sx. Where can I get more information and further assistance? Impacted employers and employees will be contacted directly with information, and we offer dedicated customer service support. One of these methods is this webinar, where we are informing you as an affected employee of exactly which steps you have to take. A question with regards to the private insurance administration fees. Within the legislation, provisions were made for reimbursement of premiums paid for the remaining months of the year by the private insurer, minus administration fees when an employee becomes entitled to the ZV and the private insurance contract ends. So this means that you have to contact your current private insurer and discuss with them how the reimbursement of premium paid is going to look like. Finally, if an employee has more than one employer and because of this exceeds the new wage limit of 120,000 guilders per year, what are the implications for this employee? The answer is quite detailed, and I'm going to read it from the slide just to make sure that I make no mistakes here. If the combined wages of an employee with multiple jobs are equal or below the new wage limit, then that employee is insured for ZV, and the ZV premium has to be deducted from both salaries. If the combined wages are above the new wage limit, then the employee is not insured for ZV, and premium does not have to be deducted from either salaries. However, the employee is insured for accident insurance, OV, in all situations, and the accident insurance premium, the OV premium, has to be paid by the employers. These were one of the most frequently asked questions that we have compiled for you, but we can definitely imagine that there are more questions that you might have. Please make use of our self-service options for applying to our ZV insurance. Follow the steps. And if there are any more questions, please reach out to us via our website, szv.sx, social media. You can contact us via Facebook Messenger or call us between the hours of 7:30 and 2 p.m. My colleagues and I are ready to assist you, and we are welcoming you to SZV. Thank you for watching this video, and until next time.